Hello mathematicians, welcome back to Number Corner. For Number Corner today, we are going to play a game called Put It on the Line. You will need your whiteboard, marker, and eraser. If you don't have a whiteboard, marker, and eraser, a piece of paper and a pencil will work just fine. You can pause the video now to get what you need. Now, you will use your whiteboard, marker, and eraser today to show your work as we solve some problems in the game Put It on the Line. Under all of these sticky notes, we have some math problems. You and I will take turns solving these problems and putting the answers onto our number line. All of my answers will be red, and all of your answers will be blue. At the end of the game, we are going to take all of our answers and add them up. And whoever has the most for their answers is the winner. Our number line is going to start at 0 and end at 100. What do you think we're counting by on our number line? Show a connection if you're thinking, well, it looks like we're counting by tens. That's good thinking. If we're counting by tens and we end at 100, what's our halfway point in the middle? What number would be right here? Show a connection if you're thinking the number 50. That's good thinking. Now I'll show you a little more on how we play as I solve my first problem. I'm going to choose a sticky note, and I choose the first one, just right here. Now my problem says Lori had some baseball cards. Her sister gave her 12 more for her birthday. Now Lori has 72 baseball cards. How many did she have to start? Well, I'm thinking about what the problem's asking me. The problem wants to know how many baseball cards Lori started with. Well, I'm going to use an open number line to solve this problem. And I'm going to draw my number line on my whiteboard. Now, I don't know what Lori started with for baseball cards, but the problem does tell me that she ends up with 72. So I'm going to put 72 at the end of my number line. I also know that Lori got 12 more cards for her birthday. So I'm going to subtract on my number line. I'm going to take a jump backwards of 10. And I know 72 minus 10 equals 62. Well, I need to jump backwards 2 more. And I know 62 minus 2 is 60. So Lori has started with 60 baseball cards. Where would I put 60 on my number line? Show a connection if you're thinking, well, right after the number 50. That's good thinking. Now it's your turn. Use your whiteboard to solve this next problem. Since you're not here to pick, I'll just pick one randomly for you. How about this one? All right. So your problem says 110 minus 20. Take a moment to think about how you could solve that problem. Now, you could solve it in a few different ways. I'm going to solve it with an open number line. You can use a different strategy if you would like. Well, I know that we're going to start with a bigger number in a subtraction problem of 110, so we can put that at the end. And then we want to subtract 20. Well, I know that we can split 20 into 2 tens, so 110 minus 10 is 100. Minus another 10 is 90. So 110 minus 20 is 90. Where should we put your number of 90 on the number line? Show a connection if you're thinking right in front of 100, because 90 is 10 less than 100. Good thinking. All right, I'm going to pick my next Post-it. How about this one? Oh, another story problem. This problem says there were 92 kids in the cafeteria. Some of the kids stayed in to wipe tables. 82 of the kids went out to recess. How many stayed in? Well, I want to think about what this problem is asking me. It wants to know how many kids stayed inside. Well, we know that there's 92 kids total and 82 went outside. So I'm going to think about an open number line again. Now, if I know there's 92 students altogether and 82 students went outside, well, I'm thinking of the difference between 82 and 92. Well, I know that 82 plus 8 will get me to 90. And then 2 more will get me to 92. 8 plus 2 equals 10. So 10 students stayed inside. Where should I put my number 10 on the number line? Show a connection if you're thinking that it should be our first number after 0. If we count by tens, we'd say 0, 10, and then keep counting on. All right, your turn. I'll pick one for you. How about this one? All right, another equation, 45 minus 15. I'm going to clean off my whiteboard quickly so I have more space to work. While I do that, I want you to be thinking about how you could solve this problem. Now you could solve this problem by using an open number line, using your splitting strategy, or by drawing some pictures of base 10 pieces. Well, I'm going to solve this problem by drawing some pictures, but you can solve this any way you like. Now I'm going to draw my 45 because that's my bigger number. I need 1, 2, 3, 4 tens pieces and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. Well, if I have 45 and I'm taking away 15, well, I'm going to cross out all of my ones, that's my 5, and one of my tens. What I have left is 3 tens, well, that equals 30. Show a connection if you have 30 for the answer 2. That's good thinking. You could have solved this problem in a different way. Where should we put 30 on our number line? Should 30 be closer to 100 or closer to 0? Well, if you're thinking it's closer to 0, that's good thinking. If we start at 0 and count by tens, we count 0, 10, 20, 30. 30 goes right here. All right, my turn to pick. I'm going to pick this one. All right, my problem says 10 plus 35 plus 35. Well, I'm going to solve this problem by thinking about my tens and ones in my equation. Now, as I look at my equation, well, I'm seeing 35 twice. If I take my tens out of 35, well, I know it's 30 plus 30. And that's a double, and I know that that's 60. And with my 5 plus 5, well, that's a double, and I know that that's 10. So I really have 60 plus 10, which equals 70. And then I have another 10, so 70 plus 10 equals 80. Where should I put 80 on my number line? We'll show a connection if you're thinking it should go right before 90. That's good thinking. All right, your turn for a problem. How about this one? Oh, your first story problem. Listen as I read. James has 4 rows of stamps in his stamp book. There are 5 stamps in each row. How many stamps in all? Well, this problem wants to know how many stamps James has in all. This problem might be a good problem to draw a picture for, but you can solve this problem in any way you like. I'm going to solve this problem by drawing a picture. You can follow along with me or use your own strategy. Well, I know James has 4 rows of stamps. Well, I know rows go across like this. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. Well, there are 5 stamps in each row. Well, here's my first row. I have 1, I'm going to draw a little circle on my row, 2, 3, 4, 5 for my 5 stamps. Well, I need to draw 5 stamps in each row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, 5 plus 5 is 10. 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 plus 10 is 20. So he must have 20 stamps. You may have solved this problem in a different way. You may have been thinking about 5 times 4, because you know if there are 5 stamps in each row, you would say 5 4 times. 4, 5, 10, 15, 20. Well, that was kind of a tricky one. Where should we put 20 on our number line? If you're thinking it's right before 30, that's good thinking. All right, my turn. I'm going to pick this one here. It says I have 30 ones and 4 tens. Well, I think I'm going to solve this problem by drawing a picture. You could draw along with me if you like. Well, this problem says I have 30 ones. Okay, I guess I'll draw 30 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I think this might take me a really long time if I draw all 30 ones. Is there a different way that I could say 30 ones? Show a connection if you're thinking, well, 30 ones? Isn't that just 3 tens? Yeah, it sure is. So we really just have 3 tens. Okay, well, I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3 tens for my 30 ones. Well, then I have 4 more tens. 1, 2, 3, 4. Altogether, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tens. Well, I know that's really 70. Where should I put 70 on my open number line? Oh, not open number line, regular number line. Where should I put it? Well, if you're thinking 70 goes between 60 and 80, that's good thinking. Just a few Post-its left. Your turn. How about this one? Oh, another tens and ones problem. We have 3 tens and 20 ones. Use your whiteboard to solve this problem. Now, show a connection if you remember from our last problem that 20 ones is really just 2 tens. Well, that's good thinking. So if we have our 3 tens, 1, 2, 3, plus 2 more, 1, 2, we really have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tens, which is really 50. Where should we put 50 on our open number line? On our regular number line. I'm thinking open number line in my brain, I guess. All right, if you were seeing 50 right here and you know it should go right underneath before 60, that's good thinking. 2 more Post-its. My turn. I'm going to pick this one. All right, we have 75 plus 15 plus 10. How can I solve this problem? Well, I'm going to look at my equation and see if there's anything I can add together that I already know. Well, I know that 10 plus 15 equals 25. Well, if I'm thinking about my quarters and my dollars, I also know that 4 quarters would equal $1. So 75 plus another quarter, well, that's 100. That helps me to know the answer to this problem is 100. So I'm going to put my 100 on the number line right underneath the 100 I already see. Well, the last problem is for you. 140 minus 100. How can you solve this problem? Now, if you're thinking, well, it's already kind of lined up by our hundreds, tens, and ones. Well, that's a really good thing to notice. we can take away our numbers because they're stacked on top of each other. Well, if I have 100 and I take 100 away, well, I'm really left with 0. If I have 4 and I take 0 away, well, I'm still left with 4. And 0 minus 0 is still 0. So really, I don't need to put that 0 there at all, and my answer is 40. And I know that that's right because it's the only number that's still missing. Okay, now that we have all our numbers on the line, we need to see who the winner is. To find out who won our game this time, we're going to add up all of your numbers from the line in blue and all of my numbers from the line in red. To show your teacher that you did some hard work today in Number Corner, you'll be telling them what each player scored and circling the winner in Seesaw. In order to do that, we need to add up our numbers. Write these numbers on your whiteboard and do your best to solve the problems on your own. And then we'll solve them together. Let's solve the problems together, but if you need more time to solve them on your own, you can pause the video now. I'm going to look first at your score. Do you see any numbers that we could add together quickly to help us solve this problem? What do you know when you look at all these numbers? Now, you may know, well, 20 plus 30 equals 50. Well, you may also know that 50 plus 50 equals 100. So we have these three numbers added together. What else do you know? Well, if we have 100 plus 90, well, that's 190. We also know that 190 plus 40, well, really, if we just take 10 away, that would be 10, and we'd be left with 30. We can add 10 to 190 to get 200. 200 plus 30 equals 230. So I can write that down here on my board. You may have solved this problem in a different way. I always find it helps to pull out the numbers that I know, especially when I have 5 numbers to add together. Let's look at solving my score. Is there anything that we know when we look at these 5 numbers? What can we solve more easily? Well, if we look at 70 plus 10, well, we know that that equals 80. Well, then we have 80 plus 80 is a double. If you know 8 plus 8 is 16, well, then you know 80 plus 80 is 160. Then we have 160. We could add another 100 to that. If we add our 100s together, it's 260. Then we just have 260 plus 60 left. Well, I know that 6 plus 6 is 12, so 60 plus 60 must be 120. And then I have my 200 left. So 200 plus 120 is really just 320. Sometimes when we add a lot of numbers together, it can get pretty messy. I'm going to rewrite our totals so we can decide who won the game. Now that we can see our final scores a little more clearly, who won our game? Who had the higher number? I won this time because 320 is greater than 230. We'll play this game again a little later in the month, and we'll see who wins next time. Thanks for joining me for Number Corner. I'll see you next time.